Hey guys, I have my March wrap-up video. I read 9 books in March. A lot of books for me. I'm still not used to reading all the books all the time. I used to just have a little bit of time to read, so I'd read 5 or 6 a month. But now that I'm home all the time and all I do is read, I'm reading up to between 7 and 10, which is really exciting. So the first book I read this month, a bunch of these are not going to have covers or anything because I haven't learned how to put covers up on the screen yet. And I don't have them because they were library books. So you're just going to have to roll with it. The first book is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I gave it 3 stars. It has 3 main storylines. Sapiro, I don't know how to say his name. I don't know how to say any of these names. A blind man who is supposedly the crow god. Azila commissioned to get him. She's commissioned to get Sapiro from one city to another city called Tova in time for a celestial event. And Narprana is the sun priest pushing for change in the priesthood during the celestial event. This book was really strange and it was hard to follow. I didn't feel anything for the characters and the story left something to be desired. This is the first in a trilogy and I will be not reading the rest. But interestingly enough, this is the book that I read this month that stuck with me. I keep thinking about it all the time. So maybe in a couple of years I should return to it or something. I'm not for certain. I wrote all these down, so I'm having to. The second book was The Borrowers by Mary Norton, the little children's book. I gave it 4 stars. The Borrowers is a tale about these tiny people called the Borrowers, and how if they are seen by a human boy who they become friends with. Trouble happens, and an old lady's telling her granddaughter, I think, the story of what happens. It's a cute little story. I read it as a child and loved it, so I wanted to revisit it. And I love it now. It's just a charming little book. It's so cute. Ariadne, however you say that name, is the main girl character, and she's just so cute. It's a cute little book. Took me like 1 day to read. Next is Tess of the Utervilles by Thomas Hardy. 5 stars. This is my 3rd time reading it. The book follows Tess of the Utervilles. Her family finds out they are descendants of a once great family, the Utervilles. Her parents send her to their nearest relations. She is taken advantage of by her cousin. I say that because they're really not Utervilles. They just kind of took the name. And the story follows her hard life after that. And there's a love story. I won't go too much into it because spoiler really. I love this book. Hardy does a great job of showing how different situations are for women than they are for men. And I love how tough Tess is to deal with everything. It's a great book. It's thick. And it's a classic. But I think it's easily readable. So if you haven't read it, give it a try. It's pretty good. Then I read this little short story collection called The Girl in the Flammable Skirt by Amy Bender. Like I said, it's the short stories. The stories are weird. And some are a little and some more than a little dirty. They're not connected at all. And they're completely random. I loved it. So weird, but it was my brand of weird. And I've never read anything like it. It's so interesting. My husband had this book for his creative writing degree. And I wanted to read something for International Women's Day. And I've been wanting to pick up a short story collection. He said, I think you'll like this one. So I read it and I loved it. It was so good. Then I read The Snow Child by Ewan Ivey, 4 stars. This book is about an older couple trying to survive and make a farm in Alaska. On the first snow of a winter, they make a snow girl. Next day, they start seeing a little girl in the woods. The story revolves around the couple and the girl. The way this book is written is magical. The setting is amazing, and I love all the characters. A nice read. The descriptions of the scenery are impeccable. And it's just, it's such a cozy story. I love it. Such a good book. I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Gave it 5 stars. This book is about a man remembering a period of his childhood filled with magic and weirdness. I don't want to say more than that because it could give it away. I loved the book. It was so engrossing. His writing style is amazing. This was my first Neil Gaiman book. I will be reading more. It was very nice. Then we have The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Donat Diaz. This book is about Oscar, a Jamaican nerd from New Jersey. He wants to be a famous author and wants to find love. This story follows Oscar's journey with these goals. It's an okay book. There's a lack of structure in how this book is set up. And I thought that was interesting, and I liked how that was. It didn't fully captivate me, but didn't bore me to death either. I just kept reading because it was okay. Though the ending is beautiful. And I think everyone should read it. It's pretty good. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Pinner, 5 stars. Guys, this book follows 2 different timelines, one 1700s and one present day. There's 3 main characters, 2 in the 1700s, Nella and Eliza, and 1 present day, Caroline. And Nell owns an apothecary, and Caroline finds an apothecary vial in the Thames during mudlarking. And it's the story of how they come together. I loved this book. It was so good. Characters are fleshed out and amazing. There's twists and turns that I totally didn't see coming. And I couldn't put it down. So good. Pick it up. And the last book that I finished was Sense and Sensibility. My husband and I read this one together on audiobook. 15 minutes a night. 15 minutes every night. This is my second time reading it. Follows the sisters Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood in their domestic life and falling in love and falling out of love and all of that. It's by Jane Austen. It's really good. Great story about sisters, about love and family and all of that. If you haven't read any Jane Austen, this is a good place to start. Well, those are my 9 books that I wrapped up. It was a good reading month. I enjoyed it, but I'm hoping to enjoy April even more. I've got some really good books lined up. If you haven't watched it, watch my previous video for my April TBR. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.